There has been some collateral damage to Wendy Williams losing her freedom and having control of her finances stripped of her by her guardian. It seems that this has negatively affected her son, Kevin Jr. In a recent bit of news, it appears that Kevin has received an eviction notice, the second time since his mother was institutionalized. Here is what you need to know about Kevin's problems. Wendy Williams' son faces hardship in Florida. Wendy Williams' son, Kevin Jr., has received his second eviction notice since his mother was placed in a long-term care facility and her court-assigned guardian took over her assets. It seems that Wendy had always paid for Kevin's rent, and once all her money disappeared under her guardian's care, he had to pay his own bills. It seems he is struggling with that. It seems that he received an eviction notice on January 28 after failing to pay his rent. This is his second eviction notice at this address, and his third since he started living in Florida. The court records also reveal that Kevin failed to pay rent due through the month of January. Kevin's rent is $3,731 monthly, and the property manager said he owed $4,316. He was told to pay the rent or move out. The property manager made a voluntary dismissal on February 3, meaning that Kevin Jr. likely paid his back rent. However, Wendy paid Kevin's rent every month until she lost control of her money to her guardian. Wendy Williams' son accused of immaturity. A source close to the family said, Kevin really needs to get his *** together, via the U.S. Sun. This source states, he is a grown man, and there's no excuse for him not paying his rent. Kevin moved into this specific property in November 2023. In 2022, Kevin Jr. ended up evicted from his $2 million apartment for failing to pay his rent. That came right after New York courts placed his mother in a financial conservatorship. Wendy was no longer able to help her son. Her guardian took over her money, and then it all disappeared. The guardian claims that Wendy is now broke. Friends and family have shown concern about where Williams' millions of dollars went after the guardian took control of the money. However, Kevin Jr. is 24. The source close to the family feels he is old enough to support himself. Wendy's family is currently fighting to help her regain her freedom. They want her to return to Florida to live with them. What are your thoughts on Wendy Williams' son being unable to pay his own rent? Let us know in the comments below. Wendy Williams' son Kevin Jr. faces second eviction amid mother's guardianship battle. Wendy Williams' ongoing legal and personal struggles have not only taken a toll on her life, but have also rippled into the life of her son, Kevin Hunter Jr. The fallout from Wendy losing control of her finances to a court-appointed guardian has left Kevin grappling with financial hardship, now marked by yet another eviction notice. Kevin Jr.'s ongoing struggles in Florida. According to recent reports, Kevin Jr. has received his second eviction notice since his mother was placed in a long-term care facility and stripped of financial autonomy. Wendy, who once covered her son's rent without hesitation, no longer has access to her own funds. As a result, Kevin Jr. has been forced to manage his own expenses, and it appears to be a battle. Court records show that Kevin was served an eviction notice on January 28 after failing to pay his $3,731 monthly rent. At the time, he owed $4,316, which included late fees. The property manager issued a demand for Kevin to either pay the overdue amount or vacate the premises. However, a voluntary dismissal was filed on February 3, suggesting that Kevin managed to pay the back rent just in time. This marks the third time he has faced eviction since moving to Florida, signaling a pattern of financial strain, family tensions, and public backlash. A source close to the family didn't hold back when commenting on Kevin Jr.'s situation, stating, Kevin really needs to get his *** together, via the U.S. Sun. The source went on to say, he is a grown man, and there's no excuse for him not paying his rent. Kevin moved into his current property in November 2023, but financial difficulties seem to have followed him. This isn't the first time Kevin has faced eviction either. In 2022, he was ousted from a $2 million apartment after failing to cover his rent. That incident coincided with Wendy being placed under a financial conservatorship, cutting off her ability to continue supporting her son. At 24 years old, Kevin is seen by some as being old enough to stand on his own feet. Critics argue that his mother's financial woes shouldn't excuse his inability to manage basic responsibilities like rent. Others, however, have pointed to the abrupt shift in his lifestyle, from having his rent effortlessly handled by his mother to suddenly navigating adulthood without financial backup. The mystery of Wendy's missing millions. Kevin Jr.'s struggles are intrinsically tied to Wendy's legal battle over her finances. When the New York courts appointed a guardian to oversee Wendy's money, the once iconic talk show host was left without access to her own wealth. The family has since voiced concerns about Wendy's fortune seemingly vanishing under the guardian's control. According to Wendy's family and close friends, the question of where her millions have gone remains unanswered. The Guardian has claimed that Wendy is now broke, a startling revelation for someone who once commanded an empire in daytime television. The fight to bring Wendy back home. As Kevin Jr. faces eviction again, Wendy's family continues their fight to regain control over her life. They are pushing to have her return to Florida, where she can be surrounded by loved ones rather than confined to a long-term care facility. The situation is heartbreaking, a son struggling to keep a roof over his head, while his mother battles for her freedom and the fortune she once built. It's a painful reminder of how far-reaching the consequences of Wendy's legal battle have become. What are your thoughts on Wendy Williams' son Kevin Jr. facing eviction again? Should he be expected to handle his finances independently, or does his mother's situation paint a more complex picture? Let us know in the comments below. In a troubling turn of events, Wendy Williams' son, Kevin Jr., is grappling with significant hardships as he faces eviction for the second time since his mother was placed in a long-term care facility. The situation has raised concerns not only about Kevin's financial stability, but also about the broader implications of Wendy's loss of autonomy and control over her finances. Wendy Williams, once a prominent figure in the entertainment industry, has seen her life take a drastic turn. After being placed under a court-appointed guardian, Wendy lost control of her assets, which has had a ripple effect on her son. Kevin Jr., who has relied on his mother for financial support, is now struggling to make ends meet in Florida, where he has been living since late 2022. The eviction notice Kevin received on January 28 serves as a stark reminder of the challenges he faces. With a monthly rent of $3,731, he reportedly owed $4,316 at the time of the notice. This marks the second eviction notice for Kevin at his current residence and the third since he relocated to Florida. The court records indicate that he failed to pay rent due for January, highlighting the financial strain he is under. Sources close to the family have expressed concern over Kevin's ability to manage his finances, with one stating, "Kevin really needs to get his *** together." At 24 years old, there is a growing sentiment that he should be taking responsibility for his own financial obligations. The pressure is mounting, especially considering that Wendy had consistently covered his rent until her financial situation changed dramatically. In 2022, Kevin Jr. faced eviction from a lavish $2 million apartment in New York City, coinciding with the onset of his mother's financial conservatorship. This marked a significant turning point in both their lives, as Wendy's guardian took control of her finances, leaving Kevin to fend for himself. The Guardian has since claimed that Wendy is now broke, raising questions about the whereabouts of her substantial wealth. The situation has sparked concern among friends and family, who are left wondering how Wendy's millions have seemingly vanished under the Guardian's oversight. As Kevin Jr. navigates the challenges of adulthood, the lack of financial support from his mother has become increasingly evident. The family is currently engaged in efforts to help Wendy regain her freedom and return to Florida, where they hope to provide her with the support she needs. The dynamics of this family situation are complex, as Wendy's health and financial struggles have placed an immense burden on her son. While some may argue that Kevin should be more responsible at his age, it is essential to consider the impact of his mother's circumstances on his ability to thrive independently. The emotional toll of watching a parent struggle can be profound, and it is clear that both Wendy and Kevin are facing significant challenges. As the situation unfolds, many are left to ponder the implications of Wendy Williams' guardianship and the effects it has had on her family. The public's interest in Wendy's life and career remains strong, and her fans are undoubtedly hoping for a resolution that allows her to reclaim her autonomy and provide the support her son desperately needs. The ongoing battle for Wendy's freedom and the quest for answers regarding her finances will undoubtedly continue to capture the attention of the public and the media alike. What are your thoughts on this challenging family dynamic? Share your insights in the comments below.